pets and animals, and we love having you here weekly.
Welcome into World of Pets podcast, guys. It's another week of fun and pets and everything furry. So tonight we have a very special guest, Rachael Ortega. Welcome in, Anthony, my co-host, or should I say cohort? And
both works.
So Rachael, give us a little bit of background, and I'm going to start. I got some good questions to ask you.
Well, as good as mine.
You got way more notes than I do.
Well, thank you for having me, guys. I'm Rachael Ortega. I'm a psychic medium, and I do pet readings as well. So I read pets' energy, whether they're living or they've passed, and been doing this work for about 6 years now. And I don't know, what else do you want to know?
Well, you said you're a psychic medium. So is there a psychic small and a psychic large?
Probably. But I'm a psychic medium.
Well, the main question I wanted to start you with, Rachael, is like when did you actually discover this? What were the indicators? That kind of stuff.
Well, so I've had gifts my whole life, right? My whole life I would feel things, hear things, see things. But I was taught growing up, I was taught to be afraid of my gifts. And so for the most part, most of my life, I pushed them away. And then I pushed them away most of my life. And then in 2019, my husband passed away. And right before he passed away, like my gifts started really opening up a lot. And like I would have a lot of messages in my dreams and stuff like that. And he was sick. And I had a vision of him, and I knew he was going to pass away. And then he passed away 3 days later. And then when he passed, the day he passed in the hospital. And when I was leaving the hospital, I saw him walking out with me. And I thought, and I see everything kind of in my mind. And so I saw him walking out of the hospital with me. And I thought, oh, I must be in shock, right? Because I could see him walking out with me in his hospital gown. And I just thought maybe I was in shock. But as the days went, I kept hearing him and feeling him and seeing him and getting messages from him. He even picked out the flowers for his funeral, stuff like that. And then my dad passed away 2 months later. And then I was getting messages from my dad and feeling my dad. And I was like, okay, maybe there's more. I think the biggest thing, they weren't scary, right? I would always be afraid, and they weren't scary. I could feel them. So I was like, well, maybe there's more to this than what I've always been taught. And so I started, I got connected with a medium. She told me I was really gifted, validated a lot of what I was seeing and hearing. And I started working with her. She was mentoring me. And then it was probably about 3 years into it that I started hearing pets. I started hearing people's dogs. I would start getting messages from people's dogs. I think one of the first animals was one of our cats. One of our cats, we had to put her down. She got really sick. She had skin cancer, actually, and it was really aggressive. And so we had to put her down. And I think that was the first I heard her the day we had scheduled to take her to the vet to have her put down. She was sitting on the couch. My son was sitting on the couch with her, and I looked at her, and she was telling me how much she loved my son. And I was like, what? And the way that it came in, it was like a knowing, like I just knew, like she loved him so much. And I could feel it, like she loved him so much. And she didn't want to go because she didn't want to go, but she was going to be in a lot of pain really quickly, and we didn't want her to suffer.
Sure.
And so we ended up taking her to the vet, and they put her down. And then when we got back to the house, I saw her in the house still. And
so my question to you with that is, when did the communication switch over from people to animals? And actually, what does that look like? Is that just a visual? Is
Um,
that just a feeling?
it's the same with people and with animals. A lot of how I get my messages, everyone gets them differently. A lot of how I get my messages is a strong knowing. I know, like I feel it. You feel it when you know something and you just feel it in your gut or you feel it in your heart. I get a strong knowing. Sometimes I'll hear, the words. Sometimes I can hear the words. Pets sometimes will show me pictures, like they'll show me things. So just different ways like that. So just hearing, feeling, knowing, that kind of stuff.
How does this communication happen?
It's
I mean,
telepathic.
like just a zapparoo kind of thing, or in your dreams, or
It
like
just
because I get
What's a
I get
zapparoo, David? Is that like
I know.
like
I
LA
you know,
Chargers lightning bolt?
I-
Like
it's a brand new name. It's a brand new word. I just made that up.
yeah, that does
We're
not
gonna
sound
start a
like it would be
sports team.
pleasant at all.
we're gonna start a sports team and call them the Zapparoos.
Well, that's how I get my music downloads. That's all I know. So,
Well, and it's like that. It's a download, right? You just all of a sudden the information comes in,
yeah.
and it's a strong knowing. It's a strong feeling. And what was the other thing I was going to say? My mind just blanked. You just feel it. Like you just know it with every fiber in your being. That's what it is. Now, pet readings, usually what I have people do is send me a picture of their pet. And so I do pet readings mostly virtually, mostly online. And or people will come to see me in person, but I'll have them bring me a picture of their pet. I've gone to people's houses too. If they're local, I'll go to their houses and do a reading for their pets. I've done it that way, but it just a picture of a pet on my, everybody has pictures of their pets on their phones, right?
Right.
And so I'll have them text me a picture of their pet and I'll read the energy from the pet.
Okay. That's reasonable. Anthony?
I hope my dog has enough energy to supplement my electrical bill.
Well, it's all energy. We all like everything is energy, right? Everything has a frequency, a vibration.
Yeah.
And pets are the same.
Yep. All right. So instead of sending you a picture, I had the little Fluffy, my new adoption, and he's 12 years old. You saw glitches of him because he won't hold still.
Yeah.
But he
What's his name?
It's Fluffy Poo. And he had a hard time adjusting to actually getting in bed with me. He does great in the kennel, all that stuff. But I like to cuddle with my dogs, right? I like to give them that human energy and the the heartbeat, right?
You're too hot. That's what I'm hearing.
I'm too hot. Oh,
I mean, that's what I
Dang it,
get
Tim.
told all the time, but
trying to date him. Come on.
I mean, if you got it, you got it.
Too much heat. Okay, that
He
makes
gets-
sense.
He gets too warm. Yeah, he gets.
I'm
Okay.
changing your name to Fuego.
Or Coolio. But yeah, so that's an interesting thought right there. I'm looking at him right now. He defluffed my laundry again just before the show because he's such a good boy. I've almost got him out of that habit, but usually it's just he wants my attention, but he doesn't want to be like right up against me all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's a good read. That's a good read. That makes sense.
Yeah, and how that came in. I just kind of heard it. I heard it in my head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's legit because it's summertime. He's actually a long-haired dachshund, but I just had him defluffed, and so the I'm trying to make sure he's not cold because we have the AC on and the window open and all that stuff. He'll lay with me for like an hour and then gone. He wants to be in his own corner. He's defluffed as well. That still exists. But it's his spot, and I left it his spot, because he's comfortable there. What would you think about if you had to talk to somebody brand new, somebody you've never met before? If you're seeing somebody walk down the street, that kind of thing, can you read somebody in real time like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, most people, I don't read people unless they ask me to read them. I don't invade people's, personal space unless I'm invited to. But yeah, I mean, even like sometimes, somebody will come see me for a reading. If like they're married, usually their spouse's energy comes in right away too. Because we're connected. We're all connected.
Right.
And so some people do have like walls up, energetic walls.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody comes to see me and they're like very nervous or anxious or fear, or sometimes heavy grief, that can kind of block the energy from flowing too. So, but it's all energy.
Okay. Anthony?
Is this like a back and forth? Can you have conversations? In other words, like, let's say somebody's like, okay, we have this pet. We're having a hard time housebreaking this pet, but it's an older, mature pet. And so somehow the pet tells you what to do. Can you then communicate with the pet and say, can we take these positive steps to get you housebroken?
I have, in my own experience, it's worked for a little while and then things kind of went back to normal. But I have, and sometimes the dogs are like, no, we're not doing that. And so
would that be like something that you need to follow up on? Maybe a regular therapist, say somebody going through PTSD or something like that. Regular therapy, would that be something that you would recommend for that kind of training?
Like to see me to have me see their pet regularly?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never even thought about that. Usually people are like, I had just had a pet reading last week, and their dog was an older dog. She was like 14. She had really bad arthritis in her hips, and so she couldn't go up the stairs anymore. She had a hard time going up the stairs, so they would put a gate up, and they were saying, they were like, can you tell her to just stay down here? And as soon as I went to tell her, I just felt this big no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing it. And, dogs have their own personalities, and there's some things they're going to do, and there's some things that they're absolutely not going to do, no matter how bad you want them to do it. I did have one lady come to me, and she was like, she had a dog that was way too strong for her. And she was having a heart and way too much energy for her. And she was an older lady. And she was like, well, can you tell him to stop doing this and that? But it's their choice if they want to do it or not. And I said, well, like, and the reality was she couldn't handle this dog. Like, that was the reality. And she didn't want to accept that. She wasn't a good fit for the dog. And then she said, no, she goes, I had a friend who had a rabbit that kept, going out of the litter box, and she had a pet psychic come talk to the rabbit. And the psychic told the rabbit that if he didn't stop doing that, they were going to put him in a pot and cook him. And so the rabbit stopped doing that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to threaten your dog. Like, I don't do that. That's not okay. So she wanted me to like threaten her dog.
So I have a question, and it's going to sound more critical than it actually is. I'm a very realistic thinker. I think very pragmatically and very realistically. So in human interactions, right, we have obviously different languages, and even within languages, you have subsets and dialects and other things of that nature. So in human communication, if you're attempting to communicate with somebody, there can oftentimes be a language barrier. Does that happen in this kind of thing?
I haven't had that experience.
Do all animals universally speak the same language?
I would say yes, because again, a lot of the information I get is I get my information telepathically, and a lot of it is visual. A lot of it is visual. Some of it is I hear things, and a lot of it is, but mostly visual and knowing. And so I've never come across any like language barriers with pets, but even with people, I haven't. People that have passed away that I've connected with on the other side that spoke a different language, they can still talk to me telepathically in a language that I can understand.
I like the visual thought of that. The reason I say that is because I'm mostly blind. And my last dog was born mostly blind. And so he helped me adjust to that over time. And so I can understand that, because I used to think in the middle of the night when we were cuddling that he would send me, a little bit of energy, if you will.
Mhm.
And he'd always be the one to relax me on my chest and then go to my legs to prop me up and all that stuff. A little dachshund, just like this guy. I've only had 5 dachshunds now, so. But what would you recommend, like, for somebody that isn't involved in using your skills?
Mhm.
What would you recommend? How can they focus on their own pets to expand that relationship?
I have a hard time with my own pets, right? And so what I've done with I've had a hard time hearing my own pets sometimes. And what I do with my own pets is I will make sure I have their attention, and and if they're comfortable with eye contact, I'll look them in their eyes and tell them what I need them to hear. I had a dog, one of my dogs kept peeing upstairs, and I held his head and I said, "Look, I need you to stop peeing upstairs. Stop peeing up here." And then he did, but then he started peeing downstairs and on the rug
You
downstairs.
didn't specify. I mean,
I know. And then the next time I'm like, "I need you to pee outside." And he did like he just like that. He started, going outside, and it lasted for a while. And then I don't know if he just got lazy or like whatever. He just didn't want to do it anymore. He kind of just went back to what he was doing. But it's
Is there anything breed specific is what I'd have to ask. What are the most connective animals that you're communicating with?
well, primarily dogs and cats is usually what people come see me for. I mean, I've had like a bird come in. I did connect somebody with their bird that had passed away, but most people have dogs and cats. Cats have a totally different energy. Cats are very spiritual animals. They're good at knowing, like they're very healing also, and they hold energy. So like cats will come and lay on you. Like I was having an issue with my shoulder, and my cat, when I would be in bed at night, my cat would come and just lay on the top of my shoulder and purr. Like he just knew, and he would purr, and the vibration, it was very healing. And
sorry guys, I'm parenting while podcasting. So if you see me muted and I'm talking to my phone, I'm parenting while podcasting.
That's okay. But yeah, cats see a lot more. They see a lot more of the spiritual realm. Like again, it's all energy, so they're really good at seeing energy. Dogs are very kind of go with the flow.
Cats are all evil, all of them.
Well, but also pets have different jobs, is what I've learned too. Like some pets that we get, they're guardians for us. They're there to take care of us. They're there to watch over us, right? And they can be guardians. Like I see that with dogs. And then some, they come to us for healing. They come to us to help us heal our hearts, because we need that love, right? Because pets give us unconditional love. And then some are just there for a good time to show us, some fun and to relax, and things are not that big of a deal. And then a lot of cats will be there for protection. I've also seen pets come back. I've seen them. So I've seen people have the
From
same
where?
pet in different lifetimes. You remember that story, that movie, A Dog's Life? And like the dog kept coming back to the kid, to the person.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Pets do that too. I've seen them come. I did a reading, and I was actually in the local newspaper. The newspaper, they sat in on me doing a reading for somebody, and I was connecting with her dog, but then I was seeing another dog, and I was seeing the girl at a younger age, and it was the same dog. And I said, "Did you have a dog that looked like this, looked like that when you were like 12, 14?" And she said yes. And it was the same dog. That dog had been with her in those years, and now she was in her 30s, and the dog was with her again in a different body, but the dog was with her again. And I've seen where dogs are going to come back at least 3 times in somebody's lifetime. And so they're like, you know how they talk about soulmates? They're like soul pets. We have soul pets too that are very connected to us, and they come back multiple times in our life. So,
well, I'm semi-convinced that actually is what happened with little Fluffy here, because he's exactly the blend between my last dog, called Peyton Pooh, and his father, that was a long-haired dachshund. We called him Fluffy Butt.
oh,
So that's when my daughter sent me the picture, because she works at the Humane Society.
okay.
I was like, she's like, we must have. I said, well, if we do, we have to call him Fluffy Poo. So we now have Fluffy Poo. Even though he's 12 years old. My last dog lived to 16 years, but that's a pretty accurate depiction because of how he looks and his color, his demeanor, and all that. He was a voluntary surrender. So,
Yeah, a lot of times they'll hold it. They'll like okay, so it's all energy, right? We can all read energy, right? You meet people, you don't like them, you don't like their vibe. So when we have a dog come back in another, a second time, a lot of times they feel familiar to us.
Yeah.
They'll feel familiar, and that's how so my son had a dachshund. It was a dachshund pug mix. Cute little. He had a long body, and like kind of he looked like Slink from Toy Story. Same brown and everything. Cute dog, but he was so funny because he would grab his bowl and he would flick his head and throw his bowl at us when he was hungry.
Right.
And when he was always hungry, but he would bring the bowl into the living room and throw it at us, and he would also unscrew the lid on his dog food.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was a really smart little dog, and short, tiny little legs. And he knew how to get up on my bed. He knew I had like a bench in front, and he knew how to get up. Well, he ended up passing away. He got lymphoma and he passed away. And about a year later, I kept getting this feeling like, you know what, it's time to get another dog. It's time to get another dog. And I kept seeing this little tricolored dog in my head. And I'm like, it's time to get another dog. And I kept seeing a tricolored dog. And so I contacted this lady. Somebody had posted about having, dog, one of the animal rescues that had some puppies. And so she's like, I think this will be a good dog for you. And she brought over this little tricolored Chihuahua, and this Chihuahua mix. And he really cute dog. I mean, he was like tiny, right? I think he was like 4 months old, really cute. And so I was like, and I just wanted a dog I dog sit. So I board dogs at my house. So I wanted a dog that was going to be good with other dogs, right? Get along really well. And so we ended up adopting him. And the first week, he was picking up the bowls, throwing them at us. He unscrewed the dog food. He jumped up on my bed, and I was like, he was acting like he'd been here before, right? And I was like, what the heck? And that lasted for about a week, and then it kind of faded away. And then he kind of went into his own little personality. And so we were like, I think that's Oliver coming back to us. Like he felt very familiar.
So we have a comment in the comment section. It says, my daughter had a dog named Adrian. Hey, Adrian, you're right. Adrian. She passed away 3 years ago. She was everything to my daughter, and now she has Gus, and he is so much like Adrian.
That was Fluffy Pooh's name before I changed it when I adopted him. It was Gus. Literally.
Oh, funny. But see, but even though those are synchronicities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And synchronicities are not just coincidence. Those are like the little hidden messages of our life.
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get a pet orca, can you help me read this orca?
Oh, I don't know about orcas. Those
we're just gonna go out into the ocean.
That's way too much animal for me.
We're gonna go out into the ocean. We're gonna jump on it, and then we're gonna say, "You will be my squishy, and I will keep you forever."
We're gonna get eaten by sharks.
Yeah, that's true. We'll stay out of the water. Never mind.
I'm mountain bound. Forget about the ocean, man.
You can't put an orca on a mountain. What's wrong with you?
Exactly. That's what I said. I'm mountain bound.
Yeah, but they do. Our pets, they do come back.
Yeah,
and we'll know. One, we won't ever miss it. Things will, like the stars will align, and whatever, that pet will come back to you. If it's meant to be with you, that pet will always make it back to you. And even if you decide I'm never getting another pet again, all of a sudden this cat will show up at your door. This dog, you come across this dog that you can't resist. Like, they always end up coming back to you. And the biggest indication is they feel familiar. There's just something about them. They feel familiar. They have those little quirks, especially in the beginning, that the other dog used to do. Stuff like, I've had 2 dogs that have come back already so far.
That makes sense. It makes sense a lot, actually. Having not gone through, but having had 5, dogs of the same breed, some breed specific, just because I know how to deal with their stubborn little butts.
Yes.
And
and when dogs coming back isn't breed specific. Sometimes there'll be this dog. I did a reading for this lady, and she was like, I told her, I kept seeing this little white dog, and I said, do you have a dog? Or are you thinking of getting a dog? And she was like, no. And I go, I keep seeing this little white dog. I'm like, did you ever have a little white dog? And she's like, no. She goes, no, I had another dog. And then I started seeing this big black dog, right? And I said, was it like a big black dog, like almost like a Rottweiler or lab mix? And she said, yeah, it was like a Rottweiler. And I said, it was a girl, right? And she said, yes. And I said, really sweet dog. And she goes, yeah, she was. And then I kept seeing the little dog. I said, oh, she's coming back. I'm like, she's coming back as the little white dog. And that's what the dog was letting me know, that she was going to come back. Not yet, but in the future, when she was ready to have a dog, it was like, look for the little white dog, because she's coming back as a little white dog.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, Rachel, thank you for joining us today. And if somebody wanted to get a hold of you and use your services, what's the best way to go about that? What's the name of your organization or what you do?
So my business name is Rachael Ortega Medium, and people can find me online, and it's rachaelortega.com, and that's Rachel with the Rachael. But that's the best way to find me. I'm on Facebook, Instagram under Rachael Ortega Medium, on Facebook under Rachael Ortega, or you can find me Rachael Ortega Medium, but also my website.
Very good. Very good. And again, thanks for coming to the World of Pets podcast. Again, our sponsor is debspets.com. That's DEBSPETS.com, where you can find all kinds of good information on pet and human health and wellness. And we'll always be back every Tuesday to entertain you and give you more information. Rachel, thank you so much for joining. We'll definitely have to have you back in, because you have so many stories to tell, I'm sure. Anthony, take us out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks again to everybody. We want you to know, as always, you are loved, you are valued, and you are appreciated. If you guys need anything, please reach out to us. As we say always, and we mean it, we'd rather have that 3 a.m. conversation than to hear your name in the headlines. So please reach out. If we can't help you, we will find somebody who will. And with that, we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on At World of Pets podcast. Take a look at what our sponsor has to offer. You can access either through the QR code or debspets.com. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.